Hi, and welcome back to Cassidys Craveable Creations. Today we're making Keto Carnitas that are super easy to make. They're fall apart tender with crispy edges, and they are ridiculously flavorful. And be sure to stay to the end because I'm also going to show you how to make low carb almond flour keto tortillas. I'm really excited to share today's recipe with you because it's perfect for meal prep. It's easy to make, it makes a huge batch, and it can easily be frozen and then reheated. And to find the link to the full printable recipe, it will be in the description below. And if you're on a mobile device, all you got to do is click the title of the recipe and the description will pop up. And before we get started on today's recipe, be sure to hit that like button and notification bell below to be alerted each time we post a new video. Let's get started. We'll start by adding the seasonings to a small bowl. We have sea salt, ground black pepper, chili powder, cumin, and ground cinnamon. So to make pork carnitas, obviously you're going to need pork. And to do this, you're going to need 3 to 4 pounds of either pork butt or pork shoulder. Then we'll unwrap the pork from the mesh, cut it into 4 equal-sized pieces, and rub the seasonings that we mixed together all over the pork. Press the saute button on your Instant Pot or heat a large skillet or Dutch oven over medium-high heat and add some oil. Once hot, add 2 of the pork pieces or as many will comfortably fit and brown them on all sides about 3 to 4 minutes per side. Then set them aside and brown the remaining pork pieces. Set them aside also. Add more oil if needed, then add a chopped onion and stir until it's translucent for about 4 to 5 minutes. Add 3 cloves of garlic and stir for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Then quickly add the chicken broth to prevent burning and stir everything around to deglaze the pot. Then press the cancel button or remove the pot from heat. Stir in the zest and juice of 1 orange. And the orange and orange zest only add 1 net carb per serving and make the carnitas extra flavorful, so I highly recommend using it. Then add the pork back to the pot and stir briefly to combine. If using a slow cooker, transfer everything to the slow cooker and cook on low for 10 hours or high for 7 hours. Or if using an Instant Pot, close the lid and switch the valve to sealing. Cook on high pressure for 45 minutes. So while the meat's cooking in the Instant Pot, let's go ahead and make the keto tortillas. They're soft, flexible, and they only have 1 net carb each. In a large mixing bowl, we'll whisk together the dry ingredients. We have blanched almond flour, coconut flour, xanthan gum, baking powder, and sea salt. Then whisk everything together, breaking up any clumps with your fingers. Then stir in an egg and an egg white. And if your dough seems dry, add 1 teaspoon of water at a time until it's the right consistency. The dough is perfect when it feels like super soft Play-Doh. And remember that dry dough will yield dry tortillas that crack easily, so be sure that the dough isn't dry in any way. And if for some reason the dough gets too wet, simply add 1 tablespoon of almond flour at a time until it's firm enough to roll out. Then roll the dough into 6 equal-sized balls. And be sure to keep the dough you're not using covered with plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out. Place 1 ball of dough onto the center of a medium-sized piece of parchment paper, then cover with plastic wrap. Use a rolling pin to roll from the center to form a 6-inch round tortilla. Then heat a pancake griddle or nonstick pan over medium heat around 350 degrees. Pull the plastic wrap off the top of the tortilla, then flip it, parchment paper and all, onto the hot griddle or skillet. Don't force the parchment paper to come off because it'll come off easily when ready. And also, I don't recommend adding oil to the skillet because otherwise it may make your tortillas just a little bit greasy. Cook for around 10 seconds or as soon as the parchment easily pulls off. Then flip and cook an additional 30 to 45 seconds. Try not to overcook them or they won't be as pliable. Set aside in a tortilla warmer or between 2 damp paper towels, and the tortillas will soften as they set. Now that the tortillas are done, the pork should be just about ready also. So once your Instant Pot beeps, let the pressure release naturally for about 10 minutes, then turn the valve to finish releasing all the pressure. Then transfer the pork to a large bowl and shred it with 2 forks. It should shred pretty easy because the pork should be very tender. And to give the pork those nice crispy edges, we'll transfer it to a large baking sheet. Then we'll mix in some of the juices and broil it for 4 to 5 minutes. Then we'll stir it up and broil it another 4 to 5 minutes or until it's nice and crispy. Then ladle on some more of the juices and toss it to combine, and it is ready to serve. Add the meat to the tortillas we just made and garnish with avocado, cilantro, tomatoes, limes, or whatever else your heart desires.